Well, let me speak to the fact that I do realize how important our state involvement in association is, state and federal. And I think one of the things that Owensboro can do right now is to become very politically active. Let's show Frankfort that we can put more than 33% of people at the polls. Let's get people out to vote, get 40, 45, 50% of our people to go vote. And then what happens is, not only are they're recognizing now, Frankfort is, that Owensboro's down here. I mean, things are happening that are so phenomenal here that they're saying, hey, these guys have got it on the roll. Now then, let's get the people behind all that with their votes. I'd like to see us come up with a little slogan for, 10 for 2010. When you go vote in 2010, get on the telephone, call 10 of your friends and say, hey, John, have you voted today? Go vote for somebody. But if you don't vote, don't complain to me about what's going on. Because if you've got somebody in that you want to vote out, I want to vote the rascal out. If you don't vote, you voted for him. A lot of people don't realize that. So if you've got a problem with someone in government, state, federal, local, whatever, if you want them out, go vote to get them out. But don't complain about it if you don't go vote. So I like to see us have a little campaign for, 10 for 2010. Everybody get 10 people to vote. Now, our relationship with the state. I found by going to the meeting with the EDC, Nick Brake did a wonderful job down there to explain this to the folks that went to it, and all the commissioners and county official candidates had an opportunity to go, and I think they all did go, is that the industrial development basically comes from the state. It comes out of the state economic cabinet. If a corporation is wanting to move into an area of Kentucky, they'll contact them and say, hey, where's the best place for us to go to? Where can we put our dollars and have a workforce and an environment that we can do business? Now, I think that it's safe to say that through the efforts of our EDC and our Chamber of Commerce, which is the #1 Chamber of Commerce in the United States for chambers of its size, we're recognized in Frankfort as being that community. And I know when the U.S. Bank came in and made their last announcement of opening up another 60,000 square foot building here and employing another 500 people, which kicks their employment up to 1,600. The guy that made the vice president that made the announcement at the news conference said there's two reasons. He said the workforce is one. He said we have found a good, steady, honest, clean workforce in Owensboro, Kentucky. And he said the other one is the fact that Owensboro is a community that's doing something. We're on the move. Now, I think there's some things that, as for my personal agenda, I want to see the state do. I want us to work, of course, through the educational, the Economic Development Corporation, the Chamber of Commerce. As a candidate, I don't have any magic dust to create jobs. And when a guy says, I'm going to create jobs in the city, he's just making noise. Because I, as an individual, cannot do it. I'm not a professional job getter-upper, okay? But those guys like Nick Brake and the Chamber of Commerce people, they are. I want to give them the resources and the backing they need to do whatever job they can get done for us, okay? I would like to ask also for our state legislature to reinstate the juvenile drug court system. That was a program that was working throughout the state. It was recognized as working. A young person, boy or girl, gets in trouble with drugs, and they go before the judge, and the judge, instead of having to put them in jail or turn them loose back on the street, has an opportunity to put them into the juvenile drug court system, which keeps an eye on these people for about a year. They got to go before the judge once a week and talk to the judge. That's all ever present. The legislature, they didn't fund it. We didn't have enough money. Of course, along with that, we turned loose several tens of thousands of nonviolent drug offenders. Now they're back on the streets. What are we doing now? We're chasing them back down to put them back in jail, to put them back in the system. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and I think through frustration, our legislators just said, we got to do something, let's do this. So I want to see that reinstated. And I want to see also a major effort. Whenever you look at the fact that James Califano, who is the chairman of the largest drug prevention consortium in the United States, says that if we want to reduce our deficit nationally, that drug addiction cost the states and the federal government in 2010 $500 billion. If you look at the cost of addiction in Owensboro, Kentucky, the number will stagger your imagination. One estimate is it costs you $1,000 per person. That'd be about $55 million in Owensboro, and is right here, okay? But I've also done some research, and it's somewhere above $20 million is what addiction costs our community. And if you speak to any sheriff, police officer, any of those folks in law enforcement, they're going to tell you that the biggest issue we face is addiction. And I'm going to ask the state people to get in there and let's do something about that, because it's a cancer that's ruining our community and ruining our state and ruining our nation. But I think, to me, those are the most important things. Of course, economic development, we talk about roads, we talk about I-69, and all of these things that are naturally going to be up there and being talked about, but we have to reinstate drug court.